Dreaming big is killing your mental. Welcome boys, we're back in another field. I've got some notes as always, and we're going to go through a few things right now. So dreaming big is killing your mental. I want you guys to have this value straight away. We're going to go straight into it. Is you're not going to be a millionaire tomorrow. No matter how much work you put in today, no matter how much work you put in tomorrow, next week, you're not going to be a millionaire by that time period. The way that you become a millionaire, the way that you get this goal, whatever the end goal is by doing consistent effort over a long time period. It doesn't matter if you crammed all of that effort into 1 day, 2 days. It doesn't matter, because the result is a kind of output, is a result of the amount of days and times that you've kind of consistently done that thing. And that is the main thing. That's the main takeaway right now, is dreaming big is great, but you have to realize it's going to take time, bro. It's going to take time. You can't expect to get this next week, next month. Like, it's going to take years, several years of consistent effort every single time. And the main way you can do this is by building a system that actually holds you accountable. Whether that's in day trading, I'm going to use day trading as an example because that's my current side hustle, but it can be in literally anything. It can be in the gym, it can be anything at all, right? If you wanted to, let's use the gym as an example because it's a little bit more understandable. So if your goal was just to be absolutely jacked, right? End goal, absolutely jacked. You think you could just free ball it? You think you could just eat what you want, turn up to the gym when you want, you know? You look at anyone that's in tremendous shape. They did that deliberately. They didn't just wake up one day and they're like, oh, I'm jacked, wow. No, they planned it exactly everything they wanted to do. They had a system in place. They held themselves accountable. They had other people to hold them accountable as well. And they did the same shit every single day. And they didn't see any results until towards the end and it started to compound, and then overnight success, wow, amazing. But that's how they did it, was a system in place. And it's the same for anything. It can be the same for the gym, the same for day trading, the same for any other side hustle, is you need a system in place that will hold you accountable, and you have to follow the system. It's easy to create the system. It's not very easy to follow the system. And the best way that you can create this system, I'm going to give you guys the free source as always, is to set up a system that allows you to tick things off on a daily, monthly and weekly basis. That's the cheat code right now. That's what I do, and that's what started to work for me really, really well. I'm definitely not a millionaire yet, but it's definitely helping a lot. Is setting out monthly goals, setting out weekly goals, and setting out daily goals. So every single day you're taking something off, even if it doesn't seem like it's moving the needle too much. I can guarantee you it is. Over time, it's all going to compound. And as long as that directly contributes to a goal in some way, shape or form, as long as you can justify it, as long as you can say, I'm doing this because it contributes to that goal, that's completely fine. Same as the weekly, same as the monthly. As long as you have that in place and you can actually follow that every single day, week or month, it's going to compound. It has to compound. And the best way to achieve this is to treat every single day as a Monday and every single month as a January. Because everyone knows, everyone does it. At the start of the year, start of the month, start of the week, everyone just cranks. Everyone works a lot harder because they're motivated. You know, it's the start of the day, start of the week. They want to get stuff done. But you realize a lot of the time that it kind of drops off. You see it in the gym attendance all the time. Everyone starts the gym in January, but then towards the end of the year, they start to drop off quite a lot. And that's because it's the momentum, right? So if you can kind of treat every single day as like a Monday, you know, we're fired up, we're ready to go, we're going to take on the week, then you can kind of consistently have that volume and that velocity to kind of keep going throughout the week. And that is what delivers you to the week. And then you do the same thing with the week, same thing with the months. And then by the end of it, you get to the year and you're like, damn, I've actually done quite a lot with this year. And that's the main goal, is to have achieved a lot within a year. Look back, be like, I'm proud of that. I can see that everything I've done on every single day, week and month, and eventually years when you've been doing it for multiple years, has compounded and it has directly contributed to a goal. And the best thing you can do is to kind of remove yourself from the goal, remove yourself from this massive dream and just focus on one step at a time. There's a quote that I'm probably going to butcher this quote, but it was from some Japanese samurai. And he was basically asking his master, what do I need to do to become a master? And the guy says, you need to train for like 100 days or something like that. And the guy's like, okay, what happens if I try every single day? I do twice the amount of effort. I show up to every single class. I do all of this shit. How long is it going to take? And the guy says 200 days. And the guy goes, what? Why is that? It's double the amount of time. And he says, because with one eye focused on the goal, you only have one eye to find your way. And what that means is if you're so focused on the goal and so focused on like this end thing, and you're kind of not putting in the effort on this day-to-day thing, then it's going to fuck up with your head, right? You're not going to be as successful because you're so focused on something that is so far out of reach that you're not really focused on the step, right? And you need to, you know, take one step. Another quote, we're going to go back to quotes right now, is you can't be looking up at the mountain, mate, before you've even taken that first step. You know, if you haven't taken these first steps, these first 10,000 steps, 20,000 steps going up this mountain, then you can't be looking up at the mountain and be like, why aren't I at the top yet? You know, because you haven't actually done the shit you need to do first. So you need to focus on the inputs. You know, you need to focus on your steps, focus on the little things you can do, the things you can control, and try not to focus so much on that end goal. And the way that you get around this is by smaller goals as well. You know, not one massive year-long goal. That's where we come back to it. The daily goals, the weekly goals, the monthly goals. Make sure you're ticking stuff off every single day, week and month, and eventually it will compound and you'll be able to get closer to that end goal. So it's definitely good to dream big. It is good to dream big, but dreaming big is going to fuck up with your mental, because you see a lot of people online, you know, your brain is kind of altered by this perception of people that are millionaires at such a young age. And you kind of get that into your head that this needs to be you tomorrow. Because these guys are 18, there's 18-year-old millionaires, you know, I need to be like them driving this Lambo in Miami. But then you realize that, like, first of all, half of that shit isn't even real anyway. But then you also realize that it takes a lot of people a lot longer than it's currently taking you to be in this current position. Like, you're actually doing pretty well for yourself. And if you kind of zoom out, you kind of take that out of perspective and you kind of realize that you're in a pretty good position. If you've been doing the right things, you're in a better position than last year. And that's all you can really ask for. You just need to be in a better position every single day, week, month, year. You know, it's all coming back to the same shit. Is just keep trying to improve yourself and don't focus so much on that end goal. Focus on the daily inputs before you start focusing on the outputs and that goal. The final thing that I want to leave you guys with is be grateful that you started now. You could have started in 5 years' time. But in 5 years' time, you're going to have 5 years worth of progress, 5 years worth of experience, 5 years worth of lessons to apply going forwards. You could have started in 5 years' time. You could have not started right now. But the fact that you've started now means that you're getting the ball rolling, you know. And in X amount of months and years, you're going to have X amount of months and years in lessons, in experience. You're going to know what works. If you don't know what works, you're going to know what doesn't work, and then you can kind of deduce what does work from that. You know, it's all lessons, it's all positive things. And the fact that you started now is very, very good. Keep it going. And that was pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys found it useful or at least entertaining. And I will see you guys in the next one.